In the animal world, things aren't always what they seem. Some cute and lovely animals can be risky, and some scary-looking ones can be friendly. Sometimes animals act in surprising ways that make them seem like a different kind of animal. For instance, a pufferfish can be hard to tell apart from other scaly sea creatures when it's not puffed up. Something similar happened with this cute guy. At first, he seemed like a regular and cute house cat, but there's more to his story that will surprise you. House cats and cats of all species are known for being somewhat fickle creatures. Sure, they're domesticated, which means they're meant to live and interact with humans, but that doesn't mean they always want our affection. Nonetheless, that doesn't change the fact that cats are, by their very nature, usually extremely loving animals, and when we do have the opportunity to cuddle with them, it seems they don't mind all that much. That's just one element about cats that will pretty much never change. In fact, even when our feline friends turn out to be a bit unusual, they're still absolutely lovable as they retain their catness. You might assume that this feline was nothing more than an ordinary, albeit pretty chunky house cat. After all, he loved resting in a little box. There hasn't been a cat in history who didn't like a cardboard box, but there was more than met the eye when it came to this cat. Just like any other cat, this feline, who happened to be named Max, loved to get his ears scratched and his fur petted. But there was something going on with him that you might not be able to guess at first glance. Would you believe that Max, for as cute and cuddly as he might have seemed, was not a house cat at all, but a Canadian lynx? It's true. It should also be noted that he didn't live in a person's home, but in an indoor enclosure. The dead giveaway actually might be the low, distinctive noises that the big cat made. Those were no ordinary meows. If you were an animal in the wild that could be preyed upon by a lynx, that sound could mean trouble. Make no mistake, a lynx, just like any other wild cat, should never be handled by humans unless said humans are trained experts. Still, how could anyone not love that sweet face or those cartoonishly large paws? Max was born at a zoo in May 2011. YouTube user Wildlife Bernie explained that Max is not domesticated but has been humanized. He still has wild tendencies. Max sure was a unique kitty. Just look at how much he loved the affection he was getting. If you really want to get a sense of how simultaneously lovable and fierce Max the lynx is, you're definitely going to want to see and hear him in action. He's really a spectacular sight to behold. He sounds like the sweetest kitten ever. Who would ever have guessed a wild animal would react to affection just like a house cat does? We have another story to share with you. And here is the amazing story happened at the Leningrad Zoo, where a little lynx was born. However, the mother did not accept the little lynx. She was named Linda. As she grew up, she was placed in an enclosure. At the age of 2 months, the little lynx became very bored, lacking a companion for games. The zoo staff thought, why not try to introduce a kitten to her? It was interesting to see how an interspecies friendship would develop, and visitors could observe the size differences between different types of cats. They introduced a 2-month-old kitten named Doja to the lynx. At first, the animals behaved cautiously, and employees were nearby, keeping a watchful eye on them. Despite the lynx being much larger and stronger, the worry was in vain. The animals became friends, and they were eventually left alone in the enclosure. The lynx and the cat became inseparable, eating, sleeping, and playing together. The zoo pets grew up together, and their friendship only grew stronger. Visitors were eager to see this unusual duo. Doja, the other cat, loved being around people and being petted, while Linda was timid and unsociable, often hiding from people. Although they shared one enclosure, they also had their own separate spaces. The lynx couldn't fit through the small entrance to the cat's dwelling, deliberately designed that way so that the animals could have their personal space. Additionally, the two friends enjoyed stealing food from each other's bowls, with Linda typically having larger pieces. Their friendship lasted for 12 years, but unfortunately, Doja passed away due to a stroke. Everyone loved the cat for her kind disposition and love for people. The zoo workers mentioned that the lynx spent the first few weeks looking for the cat all over the enclosure, sitting and waiting for Doja to reappear. Over time, the lynx started feeling better, and as the animals got older, they needed each other's company less. The youthful enthusiasm and desire to play dulled over time. Since then, the lynx has been alone in the enclosure, as no one can replace Doja, and the lynx itself, at such an age, would hardly accept anyone else. I hope you liked both stories. Please give it a thumbs up and consider to share it with your friends and family. Thank you.